Hello and welcome to Treasury Notes, a show dedicated to the latest news and information from the office of West Virginia State Treasurer John Perdue. I'm your host, Gina Joins. Coming up on today's show, as we say goodbye to 2013, we take a look back at the achievements made in the Treasurer's office over the past year. Plus, Treasurer Perdue and Assistant Treasurer Josh Stowers will join us to talk about their goals for 2014. That's coming up in just a bit. But first, Treasurer Perdue's financial education program, Net Worth, continues to thrive in classrooms around the state. Net Worth is a program which integrates financial education lessons into other classroom curriculum in West Virginia public schools. Treasurer Perdue first teamed up with the State Department of Education in 2008 to implement the program. One of the most widely used lesson plans of the Net Worth program is a budget simulation called Get a Life. Kim Ward joins us now with more on how the Get a Life program is engaging local students.
Gina, the Get a Life simulation may sound a lot like the popular board game called Life, but this version of the game is designed to teach students a very real lesson about the basics of creating and sticking to a budget without the real-world consequences. Since Treasurer Perdue first introduced it in West Virginia schools, hundreds of middle school students around the state have participated in Get a Life. In fact, for one Kanawha County middle school, the program has become something like a rite of passage for all 8th grade students.
Well, it's going to be expensive when you start life all by yourself, when Mommy and Daddy's not going to be there to help you out.
These wise words come from an 8th grade student at Elkview Middle School in Kanawha County. She's learning what it's like to provide for a family on a limited budget.
Children need to learn at the youngest age possible what it means to be responsible and an adult and be able to take care of the basic needs, food, clothing, and shelter.
These students are learning that lesson through a budget simulation called Get a Life.
You get to buy a car and a house, but the groceries are pretty expensive if you have a lot of kids.
Elkview Middle School was one of the first schools in West Virginia to introduce students to the game, and it has become an annual event 8th grade students have come to expect and anticipate.
It's part of our program now. When you come to 8th grade here, you know you're going to do this program. That's part of 8th grade.
They hear from their brothers and sisters that the year before, they know the 8th graders did it the year before, and they do look forward to it.
To play the game, students start with basic information, like the size of their family and a monthly income.
I have a husband and I have 2 children, and then he has 2 children, so I have 4 children.
I have 2 kids and a wife, and my wife's laid off.
I only have 2 people in my family, like marriage and everything. I don't have any kids, and we both provide, so that's good.
Students then have to purchase the basic necessities to fit their family's needs.
I have a family of 5, so I have 3 kids, a husband. So I had to get a car that could carry 5 people, a house with at least 3 bedrooms. And like the more people you have, the more expensive it is. And you only have so much money you can have a month. So you're like, okay, gotta budget this.
For many students, the lesson is just as much about learning what true necessities are.
I'm never growing up. Groceries are a lot.
The fridge and stuff, you have to have those, electricity and stuff like that.
Not to mention those unexpected expenses.
So you need to pay $365 to repair your car. Thank you for visiting the Green Reaper.
But even in a game, kids don't always make the best decisions.
Bankruptcy for them today is easy, but hopefully they'll learn from this that, oh my goodness, I need to be frugal. I need to, particularly starting out, and I need to I think one of the biggest lessons too is education is vitally important.
And I went bankrupt once, but now I got a good job, and it's pretty fun.
Dylan Farrell is talking about the second half of the simulation, where students get to trade in their basic profile for an upgrade where they've attended college or received additional training, which in turn means a higher paying job. Then they get to go through the game again and see how that changes their decisions.
They don't have to struggle as much with things that they know they really have to have, which they have not thought about, like insurance and groceries.
It helps you know that you need an education when you grow up, and that you need to have a good education so you can actually get your bills paid and your groceries.
Principal Rick Messenger believes this age is the perfect time to introduce students to basic finances and the idea of planning ahead for their education.
It's a transition time. They're starting to put together their 5-year plan. They're starting 8th grade to look at what they're going to do.
As for the students, they're learning and having fun.
Hopefully a little bit of experience, be prepared for after high school and college, to just not be like, oh my gosh, this is going to be overwhelming, how am I going to do this? I have to stay with my mom and dad for the rest of my life.
It's such an engaging experience that they want to do this more and more and more.
It's fun, and it'd be nice for other schools to do it too.
The Get a Life simulation is a great tool for teaching financial responsibility to students before they learn them the hard way in the real world. If you are interested in learning more about Get a Life or other financial education programs from the State Treasurer's Office, email us at financialedprograms@wvsto.com. Reporting for Treasury Notes, I'm Kim Ward.
All right, thanks so much, Kim. Well, the Get a Life simulation is just one component of Treasurer Perdue's financial education initiative. Treasurer Perdue and his staff have worked hard to make free financial education available to all West Virginians from elementary school through adulthood. And Treasurer Perdue is here with us today. We're also joined by Josh Stowers, the new Assistant State Treasurer. Thank you guys both so much for being here today. We appreciate you joining us here on Treasury Notes. And this is the show that we kind of try to take a look back at all the accomplishments of the Treasurer's Office and try to just reevaluate the whole year. Treasurer Perdue, I know we just saw a lot about financial education. That's something that you've really been committed to. And it's not a requirement of the State Treasurer's position, but you've kind of taken that under your wing to make it something that is important to our office, important to our staff, and important to the state. Talk about why you feel that opportunity, providing that financial education to the citizens of our state, is so important.
Well, I think, Gina, when I first became treasurer and I started going to schools and talking to kids and starting realizing that kids were coming out of high school, couldn't even balance a checkbook. They didn't really know what a credit card was all about. And they were going to college, and one of the first things they were doing is getting in credit card debt on top of a student loan. And pretty soon they were realizing they had their first foot in the grave of bankruptcy. And when I realized that, having kids of my own at that young age, at 8th grade, I decided we had to do something. And I thought it was the role of the treasurer, the banker of state government, to step up the plate and take a role in that. And so we started working with the State Board of Education. We started working with the teachers and the principals out in the counties. And pretty soon we came up with a national award-winning program. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of what the staff's put together. A Get a Life program is a hands-on program where students realize what their parents are doing every day, what their neighbors are facing and their classmates are facing, so to speak, in paying the bills at home, whether it's paying for the car, paying for the house, paying for the utilities, being able to clothes, food, so forth like that, and having those hands-on experience. It's just amazing. It really excites me when you see those kids going around and buying the house, buying the car, being able to take care of their kids, so to speak, in the format is put together. And then they all just about go bankrupt the first part
Yes.
of it, as you well know. And then they soon realize, though, the importance of it. And then when they come back for the second half of it and they see the importance of it and what they can learn, they're taking that out now in real life, because it's just showing there that they're planning for their next 5 years. They're going ready to go to high school, and they're starting to think about what is their future going to be. You know, are they going to go to college? Are they going to go to trade school? What are they going to do when they graduate from high school? And that's a good part about the program, and I'm just so excited about it.
Yeah, and the Get a Life game is really just the middle school component of the whole net worth program. We're going to talk a lot about net worth coming up in just a little bit. But first, Josh, I want to congratulate you on your new position, stepping up to Assistant State Treasurer. A great position here in our office, and your background really fits in well with some of the Treasurer's priorities, especially given the fact that you have a background in education. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I think my background in education, I was a high school, middle school teacher, and also a school administrator, and I think the function of being an educator isn't just teaching. And there's a number of different things you can do in that regard. But the way that it ties in with the Treasurer's Office, certainly the programs that I was always impressed with the Treasurer's Office. Obviously, the financial literacy program, I actually had it at my school when I was a school administrator, and it was very successful. I saw the impact, I saw the relevancy, I saw how it had an immediate effect on students, and saw the experience that they could gather from it. And but not only that, I mean the programs that come out of the Treasurer's Office, the Smart 529 College Savings Program, and not just the way that it's enabled and empowered people to save for college and save for their children's future education, but it's been an awareness. Whether they immediately start to save, they're made aware that it should be a priority. And just the awareness and the education that comes out of the office, I saw impact people to where they would at least start to ask questions. Parents would start to ask questions about what is this program, what does it do, and we tried to facilitate that. So being able to see that impact on everyday people, everyday students, impressed me, and hopefully we can continue just to move it forward.
Something we're going to talk a lot more about, as I said, the net worth program, the Get a Life simulation, two great things that the Treasurer's Office is doing. But Treasurer Perdue's Financial Education Initiative is really just one of the many successful programs he brings to the people of West Virginia. Programs like Unclaimed Property and Smart 529 are thriving, and the office's banking functions continue to make achievements to improve basic business practices throughout the state. Before we continue our discussion, let's take a look at the State of the Treasury Year in Review.
I, John D. Perdue,
do solemnly swear
that
I will support the Constitution of the United States of America.
The Constitution of the United States of America.
2013 began with John Perdue's inauguration for his 5th consecutive term as West Virginia State Treasurer. At the conclusion of this term, Perdue is set to become the longest-serving treasurer in state history with 20 years in office. The Treasurer's Office continues to play a key role in the development of WV Oasis, an enterprise resource planning system that will replace more than 100 outdated business applications for the state of West Virginia. The new program will allow state agencies to manage everything from payroll to inventory with the same computer applications. WV Oasis is the largest government improvement project undertaken by West Virginia. The projected completion date is 2015. The Board of Treasury Investments, chaired by Treasurer Perdue, was recognized for the 7th straight year by the Government Finance Officers Association. The BTI was awarded the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. Standard & Poor's also gave the BTI's Money Market Fund a AAA rating for the 6th year in a row. Along with managing more than $4 billion in state investments, the BTI plays a critical role in maintaining and growing West Virginia's economy through initiatives like the Certificate of Deposit program. The Treasurer's Office assists thousands of West Virginians in preparing for their financial future through the state's official 457 Supplemental Retirement Plan.
Gives you the tax benefits, you got the convenience of payroll deduction, you got great investment options, you have the flexibility of switching between those investment options when you want to.
West Virginia Retirement Plus has nearly tripled the number of plan participants since the Treasurer's Office began overseeing the program in 2006. The plan's total assets are now nearing the $150 million mark. In April, Treasurer Perdue participated in West Virginia Money Smart Week, an awareness campaign to highlight the importance of financial education. One of the week's events was Operation Scam Jam, a program designed to teach seniors to recognize and avoid money scams.
Bringing folks together where they can learn more about any of the scams or frauds that are out there, because we believe the best consumer is a well-informed consumer.
During Money Smart Week, Treasurer Perdue also hosted a free Women in Money conference in Charleston.
So we're here to help you become better educated, not fall into pitfalls and make mistakes, to help make the right decisions as you go and continue to go through life.
In November, he brought financial expert Dee Lee back to West Virginia to offer free financial advice to folks in Parkersburg.
It's been 11 years, and I feel very fortunate to have been with him those 11 years. And he has managed to get us to every corner of West Virginia.
Perdue's Net Worth program, which brings financial education to the classroom, is going strong at Capitol High School in Kanawha County. Treasurer Perdue visited a civics class to see how they are integrating basic finances into the class curriculum.
I think it's really important for them to see how these plans were developed and implemented into the curriculum, and always good for them to see the adults that are concerned about their ability to function as adults.
A record number of entries were received for the 6th annual When I Grow Up essay contest. More than 4,000 students from around West Virginia submitted essays this year about what they want to be when they grow up.
When I grow up, I want to be a superhero because I want to help people and fight bad guys. As my secret identity, I want to work with my dad as an environmental scientist.
When I grow up, I want to be an interpreter because I like to help people that can't hear like me.
Being a teacher is an important job. Children need teachers that are nice and care about them.
15 regional winners each received $500 in a Smart 529 account. A grand prize winner, drawn at random during the spring awards ceremony, received an additional $4,500 in her account. A third-grade teacher from Morgan County took home the $2,500 cash prize for the teacher essay portion of the contest. Her essay outlined her plans to use the When I Grow Up contest as a class assignment. Part of that plan included burying the children's essays in a time capsule.
And in my essay, I wrote, to keep my students engaged, we were going to do a time capsule, something fun for them to do, something for them to remember in the year 2022 and 2023 when they graduate.
Treasurer Perdue was excited to be there at Paw Paw Elementary School the day the kids sealed their time capsule and buried it in the ground near the school. A change to the Smart Savings Match program makes it possible for even more families to receive matching funds for their Smart 529 college savings account. Previously, the program was for new account holders only, but now anyone with a Smart 529 account can apply for the grant, which matches personal contributions up to $500 a year.
We've got a matching grant for each of the 7 children, so that's basically like over $17,000 that we won't have to worry about going towards their college education.
The matching grant was established so that even those on a limited budget can save for higher education. Treasurer Perdue's Unclaimed Property Division continues to make headlines. In May, Perdue returned nearly $250,000 in one day on a trip to the Potomac Highlands region of West Virginia.
And we returned over $120 million in the state of West Virginia since I became state treasurer and started finding people their money, not the state's money. And I think that says a lot for what my people has done.
The success of our Unclaimed Property program was seen nationwide when the ABC program 2020 sent a camera crew to our state capitol.
We have a few lucky people in West Virginia every once in a while, and this is your lucky day.
Treasurer Perdue returns millions of dollars in unclaimed property to its rightful owners each year.
I got to thank every one of you, especially Mr. Perdue and Roger, and I just think y'all do an awesome job with this program.
Reporting for Treasury Notes, I'm Kim Ward.
All right, thank you so much, Kim. And if you're just joining us right now, you're watching Treasury Notes, and we are taking a look back at the year in review for 2013. I'm joined now by State Treasurer John Perdue and Assistant State Treasurer Josh Stowers. Again, we're glad you both could join us here today to talk a little bit about the year in review. Treasurer, looking back over some of the highlights of 2013, what are some of the things you're most proud of? We saw just a lot of great events that you were a part of last year.
Well, you know, I think that gives the public a great view of the office, exactly what all we do. And we are the bank of state government. That's the number one thing I think it's important that the people realize when they see that we won awards for best financial reporting. We're a triple bond rated operational funds of state government. That's the number one thing and responsibility I have, and I want to see that continue, that record, and we continue to do that. Number two is we're about to approach the $2 billion mark in our Smart 529 plan. I don't think anyone ever dreamed that we'd have a college savings program of $2 billion, and you're going to be joining that too, Gina, soon here. And so, but it's a great opportunity for parents and grandparents to save for their children's education and invest in that education, whether it's for college or trade school or whatever type of higher education they may desire. And that's a great program. Financial education, net worth, and those programs, we want to continue to market those around the state. And more teachers, more and more schools are wanting to participate in those programs. Unclaimed property, what can you say? When I became state treasurer, people used to run from us when we were trying to give property away at fairs and festivals and at malls and so forth. And now it's, people love to get that insert in the paper. They love to go online. We return a record amount of money every year almost to the people of the state of West Virginia, their money, the people's money. And we won national awards for that. We're on nationally recognized for that, and I'm proud of that. But the new one, another savings program, Retirement Plus. Retirement Plus, we allow counties, cities, municipalities, state employees to add another retirement type savings to their retirement down the road, and that is, continues to grow and triple. And so we continue to work hard. That's what we believe in doing for the taxpayers of this state, and that's what we're going to continue to do in 2013.
There are just so many programs that the state treasurer's office administers, and so many programs that you're involved in. As you said, I mean, there's unclaimed property, Smart 529, West Virginia Retirement Plus, so many great services for the people of our state. But as you said, our number one function here in the state treasury is banking services. And one of the big things coming up in the next few years is the West Virginia Oasis system. That is a big system that's going to get us all on the same page with our reporting around the state and all the different state agencies. Talk about why that program is so important.
Well, why that program is so important is we've waited a long time for a technology Oasis system, a system that all state government can be on and working together, where we can interface with each other and agencies, and the state auditor and I can work together to make sure that the books of the state of West Virginia is balanced, our bills are being paid on time, we continue to know where our money is and operate state government in a very financial sound way, and in a very professional way. What people don't realize, all that we do in the treasurer's office, whether it's Oasis or whether it's banking services or cash management or whether it's the 529 or all the others, they're done by very professional people, and that says a lot for our office. And that's the kind of office that people expect out of their bank and state government. But the Oasis is going to really change the face of government. We'll be able to pay our bills a lot better online, a lot timelier, and a lot better results for the taxpayers of this state.
Talking about professional staff, Josh, you've really just spent the last few months getting up to speed and preparing to take over the role as Assistant State Treasurer. Explain to us what your role is going to be and how you're going to work with Treasurer Perdue, the Deputy Treasurers, and all the employees in the office on some of the day-to-day production. Sure. Well, I've been given a great opportunity to be here and learn the office under my predecessor, Danny Ellis, and have learned the functions of the office and been able to get acclimated and meet the people and understand where we're moving as an office and as the Treasury. The day-to-day operations of the office, I mean, the treasurer's put in place a great system, continues to modernize the office. And my role is just going to be to oversee those programs, oversee the departments and the deputy treasurers, making certain that the programs that are in place, the services, like you said, the banking services, are functioning the way that they should be, to be an outlet to help the deputy treasurers just do their job effectively, and just manage the day-to-day operations of the office, represent the treasurer on the numerous boards and commissions that he sees fit for me to do that, and represent the office to the best of my ability. And of course, Treasurer, we have the Board of Treasury Investments. That's one of the key functions as well. You serve as chairman of the board, and the Board of Treasury Investments, of course, handles the consolidated fund. Talk a little bit about what part the BTI plays in our government. Well, the Board of Treasury Investments, it's the fixed incomes of state government.
it's a short-term investments of state government. It's about $4.2 billion, somewhere around that range, varies from day to day. And where we invest that amount of money in our portfolios that we manage in the Treasurer's office. And it's hard to make money in fixed incomes right now, but we continue to do a great job as we again earned our triple bond rating and continued to manage the taxpayers' money. I think one of the most important things about the Board of Treasury Investments and Cash Management working together hand in hand is that it keeps West Virginia financially sound. That's the number one thing we can say we're proud of. A lot of other states can't say they're financially sound, they're paying their bills on time, they have a balanced budget, and that says a lot for what we've done in the Board of Treasury Investments and the professional staff that's put together to manage that money for the taxpayers of this state. The bank and state government, so to speak, part of the bank. And I'm very proud of that. But I also want to say I'm very proud of Josh, a young professor, a professional person that's come aboard to work with us in the Treasurer's office. I reached out when I started thinking about a new assistant. I wanted someone of energy, someone with future leadership, someone that could take the reins by the horn and understand the education part of the Treasurer's office as well as the financial part of the Treasurer's office and be able to mend those things together and operate the Treasurer's office. And he's going to play a major role in that, which he already has, and where he will continue to do as assistant. And I'm proud to have him aboard as the assistant treasurer.
Yeah, we all are proud to have Josh aboard. And, you know, Josh, as I mentioned earlier, you have a great background in education. Let's switch over and talk a little bit about Smart 529, because the Smart 529 program, saving for college education, that's the real key. And that's something that Treasurer Perdue, since he stepped into this office from day one, you know, over 16 years ago, he said, this is something I'm going to commit to.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said before, I've always, ever since I've become aware of the college saving programs that the Treasurer has, all the way back to the prepaid college program. My daughter's a couple years away from going to college. I signed her up for it. Was thoroughly impressed with the function of that, and then evolving into the Smart 529. And as an educator, saw just how important that role plays, and it's. As we move forward, it's going to become such a much more vital role, I think, and a responsibility for us to help educate the public, because the fact is college tuition and college fees are outpacing inflation, become more expensive every year. More of the burden to pay for college is going on the students and the students' families than it ever has before. And for them to become more aware of any way that they can potentially save and put themselves in a better financial position to achieve any type of post-secondary education, whether it's four-year college or not, whether it's just a two-year college, a community college, that's still going to cost them money.
Absolutely.
And it's vital to not only them as a person and them and their quality of life, but it's also vital to the state of West Virginia and our economy. We need an educated workforce here, and if we don't do all that we can to just put all those pieces together for them, make them aware of all the resources that are there for them, it's not only going to hurt us if we don't do that. It's going to hurt our state and it's going to hurt our people. And so it's just a quality program that I'm just proud to be a part of and proud to be a part of the office that follows through with it.
And we're just about out of time, but Treasurer, if in one or two words, if you could say, what are you looking forward to in 2014?
Well, I think the most important thing is to look forward to it in 2014 is that things are tightening up in the budget, as West Virginia is well known, and we're going to continue to balance the budget and take care of their money and move this state forward, and they can count on a balanced budget in 2014.
Thank you both for joining us today. Remember, you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter, or check out our financial blog for more information. Connect with the Treasurer's office today, keeping you informed on the Library Television Network. I'm Gina Joins for Treasury Notes.